Thank you for joining us in Kids Church for today's life story. Our main point is that God's word tells us to respect His name and not take it in vain. How you use God's name reveals if you truly have respect for His name. Today's life story is about General Tuna and the Ocean Secret Service. Welcome to the OSS, the Ocean Secret Service. Today, General Tuna is assigning two secret agents, Sam Fish and James Front, to a special case. General Tuna explained, "The person you see in the picture is the evil Dr. Nose. We know he's up to something destructive. Your mission is to spy on his base and get all the information you can. If you need anything, contact us by radio. When you call, your access code is my name. Just say, General Tuna." Sam and James began preparing for their mission. James was negative and said, "The general has such an ego. He sure is stuck up. Talk about corny. I mean, come on, using his own name as the code word. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of." Sam responded, "I don't think you should be talking about the general like that. This isn't his first mission. You should show him respect. Kids, do you show God respect? Or do you curse His name? How you speak and how you use God's name shows whether or not you really have respect for His name." Sam and James approached the secret base and they were stopped immediately by agents of the SIA, the Swimming Intelligence Agency, and these agents were armed with guns. "Wait a second," Sam said, "we're on the same side. We're agents from the OSS, on a special assignment to check out Dr. Nose." "Likely story," said the SIA. "Agents, we're under special orders to arrest anyone we think may be allies of Dr. Nose." Sam said, "I can prove that we are on a mission against Dr. Nose." Sam radioed Central Command, "This is Special Agent Sam Fish requesting identification to be sent to SIA. Headquarters verifying our mission status." Command Central asked, "What is your authorization code?" Sam answered, "The code is General Tuna." Command responded, 10-4 over and out. The SIA leader listened closely as he began to get a message over his earpiece. "Good news, gentlemen," he said, "we have confirmation. You're free to go." Sam and James found a spot where they could spy on Dr. Nose and record what he was saying. Dr. Nose began to tell his whole plan to take over the world. Sam and James were recording everything Dr. Nose said. Suddenly Dr. Nose spotted Sam and James. He shouted to his guards, "Kill them." Sam and James swam away as fast as they could. Sam looked at James and said, "Pull out your radio and call on the name." But James refused. "I'm not saying that name, because that name can't do anything for us." Sam begged, but James wouldn't listen. All of a sudden Sam screamed. Sam fell to the ocean floor. Sam was hit by enemy fire. Sam told James, "Call on the name, I need help quick." James radioed for help, said the code, General Tuna. The command center sent emergency help at once. Sam was suffering from a bad wound. The general rushed to his bedside and made sure that the best doctors treated Sam. One of the doctors at the hospital asked the general, "Why are you going to so much trouble for this agent?" The general looked back at the doctor and said, "Because I made a promise. I promised that if he called on my name, I would take care of him." Kids, God says the same thing to you. He has the power to save you. His name is the only name that can save you, and you need to believe in the power of His name. As soon as Sam recovered, he was back at headquarters. The first person he ran into was James. However, James was upset and yelled, "We should not have been sent on that mission. The general doesn't know what he's doing. If he had planned for more agents on the mission, you would have been safe. It's because of General Tuna you were injured." Sam spoke up. The general promised that if we used his name, whatever we needed would be available. And the truth is that by calling on his name, we were saved from Dr. Nose's attack. General Tuna overheard their conversation. Over the next few years, Sam went on to do great things, and General Tuna made sure that Sam advanced in his career. As for James, he never changed his attitude. His disrespect for the general and the general's name continued to get him in trouble. Kids, decide today to always respect God's name. You need to know and believe in the power of God's name. Thank you for joining us in Kids Church. Please subscribe to the Mighty Sound Kids YouTube channel, and thank you for clicking the like button. Music and ministry for a multitude. Jesus is the answer.